Hi everyone. Once again, I sincerely welcome you to Spirituality for Dummies, the place we explore alignment, awareness, and why your mind might be missing the mark. Today, we are talking about something very real: why we suffer, and how tuning into your right brain can help you live aligned, joyful, and abundant. Let's be honest, we all feel suffering. It shows up as frustration when things don't go our way, regret when we reflect on our past mistakes, pain, disappointment, or that nagging sense that life could be smoother. Sometimes it feels random, but other times it feels like we are making the same mistakes over and over again. So why does this happen? The answer isn't punishment. It's misalignment. When our actions, choices, or thoughts are disconnected from what's truly right, loving, or aware, life naturally creates friction. And that friction is what we call suffering. Now let's use a metaphor: archery, to make this more concrete, but still feel it in your body. Imagine the bullseye is your calling, what you're here for, the life you're truly meant to live. You aim for it. You measure and calculate through the lens of following other people's rule, society's expectations, and what looks good on paper. And then you miss, obviously. In fact, the original Greek word for this concept is hamartia, which literally means missing the mark. Suffering happens when your actions, choices, or thoughts are misaligned with your purpose. When you miss your own bullseye. Different cultures have different names for this. In Chinese, it's called 作恶, literally means committing evil. In English, we say commit sin. For Malaysians, you might hear a lot of people say buat dosa in our daily language. But here's an important point that will blow your mind. Evil here is not what people usually think of. It's not about being a bad person, per se. But evil is about doing things that contradict your true nature, acting against your own alignment, your calling, or your inner truth. Actually, we can look at evil in two ways. The first one is external evil, which is what society, religion, or culture labels as wrong behavior. And the second type is called internal misalignment. This is when your own actions, thoughts, or choices contradict your authentic self. And usually, it's the second one, internal misalignment, that causes suffering. And that is why we need to be gentle with ourselves and with others. Even when we are facing sin, mistakes and misalignments are part of learning and growing for our soul. For more details on this, check out my Karma video series. I'll link it on the top right corner. Now, here's a story from the Bible to make this really clear. A woman labeled a sinner, a prostitute, was brought before Jesus. The people around her were prepared to stone her to death right there and right then. But instead of condemning her, Jesus said something different. He said, "Go live your life without sin."
Stone her! She's a sinner!
Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. Go and live your life without sin anymore.
Without sin, without missing the mark again. This moment is powerful because it shows that you can miss the mark and you can suffer from misalignment. But alignment and forgiveness allow you to redirect your actions towards your true calling. The story here isn't about morality. It's about recognizing misalignment, taking responsibility, and choosing to live in flow with your purpose. And this story got me thinking, if suffering really comes from missing the mark, how do we live? And how we live according to our calling? Here's something very real. While preparing this video, I wrestled with what to do next. Should I make the principles to follow while pursuing spirituality videos first? Yep, one of the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. Or should this video, particular video, this one, be public or members only? And is this the really right timing to post this video first? Because I had something else planned. My left brain was analyzing, questioning, and overthinking, trying to figure out what's right and will it disrupt my plans. But my right brain nudged me. Something within me just feels right. This one feels alive, let it come first. People need to really know about this. That moment, that's literally the lesson I want to share with you. Sometimes, knowing which part of your brain should lead and letting it lead is the difference between missing the mark and hitting it. And here's something very human I noticed while making this video. My impatience about my channel growth. I wanted faster results. I wanted more views, more engagement, and more validation. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel frustrated at all. Of course, I struggled a little when I'm looking at the analytics. That little surge of impatience popped out like an old pattern. But here's the insight. Ego is mainly driven by the left brain. Where logical thinking thrives, it seeks for validation. Ego only wants results, but our true essence, our soul, wants growth. And then I asked myself a very honest question. If I were to blow up tomorrow, am I ready to handle this much of an audience? My answer was a solid no. And that's the beauty of a right brain living. It allows you to be more honest with yourself, to see where you actually are, instead of just chasing numbers and validation. Another aspect of truly embracing right brain living is to completely trust the universe's timing. You don't have to rush, force, or to try to control every outcome. You create, you act, you flow, and the rest unfolds in perfect timing. Every circumstances that you will ever encounter. In this case, my stagnant channel growth is trying to show me something that is hidden within me. There is always a lesson that can be learned and extracted, no matter how dire or bad the situation is, as long as you are willing to learn. So in front of all of this, I didn't let the impatience control me. I just noticed it, I acknowledged it, and I kept creating, kept sharing, kept aligned with my calling, without letting the ego take over. And instantly, I felt a huge sense of relief, lightness, the sense of, yes, I'm doing what I'm going to do, and the rest will flow in time. That is right brain living in action, and noticing ego, noticing impatience, being honest with yourself, trusting the timing of the universe, seeing the hidden lessons in circumstances, and acting from alignment anyway. So, what's the takeaway from all this? From wrestling with decisions and noticing my impatience about my channel growth? They are both pointing at the same issue, attaching to the outcome because we cannot really see the whole picture. And this is what our left brains do. They analyze, plan, and control. It can only envision and visualize what it knows, which is minuscule in the scale of the ultimate intelligence. But our right brain governs our flow, intuition, and alignment. Logic is useful, absolutely, but it's not the guide. Intuition, awareness, and excitement are. These are the so-called divine spark within us. You might be logically sound, but at what cost? At the cost of your true purpose and freedom of your soul. And here's the thing. Heeding your calling doesn't always mean that you need to do grand or extraordinary things. It can be something small as deciding what to eat for lunch, what to wear, which videos to create, or how to speak your truth at a moment. When guided by intuition, even these small choices are expressions of your truest self in the moment. the divine acting through you. In fact, this is why Christianity calls human beings the vessels of God. When we notice our impatience or overthinking, we realize something important. Ego often wants results fast, but our true essence, our soul, wants growth. By observing frustration, being honest with ourselves about readiness, and trusting a universe timing, we align with what we are truly meant to do and avoid unnecessary suffering. Our right brain is actually our antenna to the One, the Divine. It's how we tune into subtle, unseen guidance that logic alone cannot reach. Sometimes your intuition will feel urgent. Sometimes it will make you grin before your left brain approves. That's your green light. That's alignment. That's living from the right brain. When you practice this, you'll notice fewer missed marks, less unnecessary suffering, and more moments of flow, abundance, and clarity. So next time you feel stuck, overthinking, or missing the mark, ask yourself, am I acting from logic alone? Or am I tuning into awareness, flow, love, and the divine spark in me? If I obeyed my ego, left brain, and rushed my videos, this action would have been a miss of the mark, missing the essence of what I truly want, creating videos that genuinely resonate with people. Remember, sometimes the lesson comes alive even while you're figuring out what to do first. That is growth. That's alignment. That's right brain living. Now, you know how to not suffer anymore. Subscribe to let it be a reminder for people to stop missing the mark. And comment, I will hit my own bullseye, and share how you feel in the comments. Till next time, bye bye.